Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you are all doing well out there. It has been a while since I've done a video. I actually just started recording this and I was like 20 minutes deep and I was like, all right, I got to redo this and cut this down a bit because it was getting way too long and out of control. So I'm going to speed through this a little bit faster than I was just trying to do. But I know it's been a little bit since I've done a video. It's just, life gets ahead of you, as always, and as time goes by, you kind of just slip into the laziness and then you don't find the time. But long overdue. Huge Blu-ray update video here, so I'm going to jump into this. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I did start an Instagram earlier this year, which I post daily. I keep up with that daily. It's way easy to just make a post here. So that's really just all collection stuff. New movies, artwork, pins, figures, I mean, whatever have you. It's just a new piece of my collection that I post on there daily. So that is at Bootzilla111, same as the YouTube channel name. And then me and my buddy we're going to start doing some horror shorts. We're in very early stages here, but we got a slew of ideas. We're starting to kind of storyboard and map things out and start getting some equipment together and all that. So if you want to keep up with that, again, it's very early stages right now, but that is at Nerf Herder Studios, and that's on Instagram as well. And then we've also got our Facebook. It's the same thing at Nerf Herder Studios there too. So check that out if you guys want. I'm going to make this a lot quicker than 20 minutes like I was trying to do before, and then I got way ahead of myself. But first one here I wanted to talk about just a little bit because there's really kind of a nice story to this here. So when Avengers Endgame came out, they did kind of this We Love You 3000 tour. Luckily enough in Chicago, Joe Russo came in for the release of this here, and too cool, man, just way too cool, super nice guy. He was signing everything he brought. So I brought my Matt Taylor Infinity War print, had that signed by him. Also, of course, got the Best Buy exclusive steelbook signed by him right here as well. So I am so happy to have this. And you know, Joe Russo, for what he did and his brother Anthony with, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, it's unbelievable. That string of 4 movies has got to be one of the hottest, if not the hottest streak of just unbelievable cinema ever put out. It's ridiculous how good those 4 movies are, flowing through with the story and interweaving everything that's been going on in the MCU. It's really just a thing of beauty what they were able to accomplish. So proud to have that in the collection there, and I had to double dip on the Endgame release with the Target exclusive as well. Nice thick packaging there. They do a great job here with kind of the digibook presentation on the inside. It's like a trifold, so super good stuff there. Next we've got the Wailing. I've been wanting to pop this in for so long. My buddy Jay, who is on YouTube of course as well, Absolute Sublime 1. If you're not following him, go check him out. There's no reason that you should be following my channel and not checking his stuff out. He's a really cool dude. One of the main reasons I got into doing YouTube videos. And he just did a recent video talking about the top 10 horror films of the last 10 years, the 2010s and up basically. And this was on there and I was like, man, I gotta find the time to finally pop this in. And I did. And I really enjoyed this movie. I went into this as blind as could be, but the 2.5-hour runtime is totally justified. Check this movie out. If you got a problem with subtitles, still check it out. Next, we've got Revenge, and I like this movie for what it was. It was kind of I Spit on Your Grave meets Mandy, but like the Keystone Light version of that. Still fun for what it was, though. I wish they would have done a little bit more with the motivations behind why the revenge has to take place, because it just makes it that much more satisfying when it happens. But other than that, though, definitely a fun film and well made. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I have not seen this movie in a long time. I just watched this again this morning. And this is as schlock gets for B movies, but still a fun, stupid time. This is a phenomenal film, summer of '84. I cannot recommend this enough. Everything about this movie works perfectly for me. I love the cast in this. I love the score. I love the story, the cinematography, the directing. This is just kind of a total package film for me, and it takes risks, and it goes left and right when you're expecting it to go right or left. I really like what they did with this movie. Awesome movie. Please check out Summer of '84. The Endless. Enjoyed this for what it was. I think it got built up a little too much for me, but nevertheless, it was still a fun time. Next, we got Rocket Man, and this is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Missed this one in theaters. I was very bummed that I missed it, but I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought they did such a good job with this. It was such a unique way of telling a story. I have not seen a movie kind of presented in this way before. It was a very unique way of storytelling, and I appreciate the hell out of that movie for the choices it made to do that. Then we've got the first Alien, and this is the 35th anniversary kind of little box set edition. I had to double dip on this because I really love the look of it. I grabbed the anniversary edition for Aliens as well, which is a thicker box, and this is kind of like a thin paper box, where that one was, it's like a thick paper box, but nevertheless, glad to have that as well. And not to be outdone with that, Alien Resurrection, Alien 3, and then we've got Us from Jordan Peele, which I really enjoyed this movie a lot as well. Get Out takes the edge for me a little bit because I think Get Out is just, kind of a bulletproof script with everything. This here, there's a couple of spots you gotta suspend disbelief as far as what's going on in the movie. Not plot-wise, just some of the things that are happening in the movie. But nevertheless, what Jordan Peele has done for his directorial debut between Get Out and Us, the future is bright as hell, and I can't wait to see it. We need more original ideas like that in horror. So we're going to be doing with Nerf Herder, hopefully. So keep an eye out on that stuff. We want original ideas and stuff that's new. Next, we got Mars Attacks. And what else could be said about this movie that hasn't been said? Everyone's seen it. It's an awesome film. A lot of fun. Then we got Infinity War. This is the Target exclusive again. Again, thicker packaging there with kind of the interior trifold. Do a great job with this. Love Infinity War. I think it edges out Endgame for me a little bit just because I think in Endgame you kind of knew what you were going to get for the most part. With Infinity War, you were kind of on the edge of your seat more. And the risk that they took in that movie for something of this caliber, I thought was phenomenal. Then we got the exclusive Steelbook to Best Buy as well. I love this Steelbook design. The only thing I wish they would have done for these Steelbooks is kept with the traditional Steelbooks that they've been doing with just the Avengers logo A. I know they released that big 4 Steelbook box set thing, which was like $150, like some ridiculous price, where they did that for Infinity War and Endgame. Did not buy that because I'm not going to spend that much money to double dip on all these again. But if you guys remember when the first Avengers movie came out, if you got your hands on that Steelbook, you didn't buy the Steelbook on release day. You went in and bought an empty Steelbook like a month in advance or something for $10, and you brought your receipt back and got $10 off the price of the Blu-ray release when it came out. So if you got that Steelbook, you know what you had to do to get that there. I thought that was a really cool idea. Just bringing that up because why the hell not? Then we got the John Carpenter's Retrospect Live. This is so good. I've watched this so many different times. It is badass to see John Carpenter live, let alone he's playing with his group. And his son's in there too, Cody, on synth with him, or lead keys, however you want to call it. But it was so cool. I saw this live in Milwaukee. I'm actually in this Blu-ray here. So they took the Chicago filming and then it's somewhere overseas, I'm trying to remember, London maybe, where they had kind of spliced together to create the live presentation for this. But at the end, they go through all the cities. And when they get to Milwaukee, you can see me in the far left side. I'm in my Halloween jersey, just big orange guy just chilling there in his jersey. So that was kind of a cool little surprise. But seeing John Carpenter live was amazing. And this is such a great live music Blu-ray here. So I pop that on sometimes just while I'm doing things around the house just to have background noise going. Then you got Tag. This was not like a hilarious film by any means, but I really like movies that are kind of like camaraderie with friends and stuff like that. It's always something I've gravitated towards, and I felt they did a really good job showing the friendships of these guys and everything. I was more interested in the friendships and kind of where that was going than I was the jokes. But if you like just kind of a fun movie, this would be a good one to check out. Then we got Game Night. I thought this one was okay. Again, nothing too funny. I wasn't as interested in the characters in this, so it was okay. Probably something I'm never going to revisit. Clue. Everybody has seen Clue. I haven't seen it in a long time again, and it was nice to revisit it here. Clue's definitely a fun movie. Devil's Backbone. Never saw this. I just saw this about a year ago maybe, but I never seen it prior to that. Guillermo del Toro, of course, and this was a really good movie. What I liked about this, and really what del Toro does very well in all of his movies, is just the story and the characters come first, and everything that's wrapped around it just gets amplified because of it. Really good horror type films do that, like The Exorcist. The Exorcist is more about the breakdown of a family and dealing with the trauma of the situation, where the whole exorcism piece is just kind of the underlying theme, which makes it that much scarier. Kind of what they do with this. There's situations going on within this here, and it's kind of wrapped by a ghost story, which makes it that much more compelling. Really, really good film. Then we have got Spider-Man Far From Home. Thank God they got Spider-Man in the MCU still, and they figured this whole thing out, because where they go with him in this movie, there is no way you could continue the MCU without him. It would have been a devastating blow Thank God we don't even got to worry or think about what that would be anymore. I really like this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio was phenomenal. It was so good. I don't know how they keep finding more interesting ways to develop these characters in the MCU, and I hope it continues and they can keep finding good ways to do it, because now that you've wrapped everything up with the Infinity Saga, you got to keep us gripped, and this did a great job, even though this kind of closes out the Infinity Saga. I just hope they can continue to keep things interesting and keep us on board. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, so I'm always on board with anything Spider-Man, and they did a great job with this here. And I love this steelbook. You can kind of see how it's metallic-y on there. Really neat. You know, it's definitely a gloss finish, but it's kind of got like a metallic feel. It's very, very cool looking. Then we've got Forrest Gump. We've all seen Forrest Gump, so nothing I can say about this that hasn't already been said. Absolutely love this movie, and I really, really like the design of the steelbook here. It's simple, but it's perfect for what Forrest Gump is. Then we got Overlord. I enjoyed this for what it was. I don't know if this is something I'd go back and watch again, but it was a decent one-time watch. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This here, I don't know if this is a Walmart exclusive steelbook or not. Walmart's been getting all these new steelbooks and stuff, but they're like second releases of steelbooks that used to be a Best Buy exclusive or a Target exclusive. Now Walmart's selling them as a Walmart exclusive. It's very interesting. So I don't know if this was released prior or not, but nevertheless, I had to grab it here. I really, really like this movie. Again, a super unique way of telling a story. If you've not seen this, highly, highly would recommend checking this out here. It's basically your typical slasher horror film, but it's flipped inside out, like 100% just flipped inside out. So very, very well made. Another Del Toro film, The Shape of Water. I love this movie. This was such a heartfelt story, and the characters I thought were so believable, and the motivations that the characters had and everything. This is great storytelling to an absolute T. I loved this film. Then we got Victor Crowley, which is the fourth in the Hatchet series. I was fortunate enough to catch Adam Green when he was doing his tour for the film, and he came through to Chicago as well. Super, super nice guy. It's the first time I had met him, and he stuck around, signed things afterwards, which was really cool. I've got a Hatchet 2 print from Alex Pardee. It was very limited, so if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's a really cool print. I'll probably post it up on my Instagram page here soon enough. But nevertheless, it was super cool to meet Adam, have him in attendance watching this movie. And the Hatchet series is so much fun. Victor Crowley has turned into like a modern horror icon. I would love them to keep continuing off of this series. I know he said he was going to stop after, Hatchet 3. And he told a really cool story how George Romero, before he had passed, rest in peace, George Romero, but George Romero basically said, like, hey, man, like, just go do it. Just go make your fucking movie, dude. And he did. I think that's badass, so I hope it continues. Then we got Batman v Superman. I really don't care for this movie at all. The only reason I grabbed this is because I got it last year on Black Friday for $4, and everyone keeps saying, you gotta watch the director's cut, and that'll explain so much more. It's like, all right, well, I haven't watched it yet, so one of these rainy-ass days when I got nothing to do and I feel like watching this bullshit again, I'll watch it and see if I can get some more out of it. But the way I look at it, if you've got to make me watch an extended version of something and you couldn't present it in a good enough fashion in the theater, I don't know. That to me, that says something about it right there. But there's definitely some moments in the movie, like when Wonder Woman shows up, it was so badass. There's some moments in here, but the motivations between the characters is what absolutely killed this movie. I don't know how I'm not going to go on a rant here, but I don't know how Batman can go from being so hateful towards Superman, no matter what. You're seeing Superman on the news rescuing people, and years have gone by, and you just want to kill the shit out of this guy nonstop. And the missing link, that just snap of a finger, is finding out that your parents or your mother's name is Martha. That's the link between everything. And not only that, now Superman automatically is going to trust Batman to go save his mom. Like, you just tried to kill me, dude. But, like, here, you go save my mom. It just made no sense. Absolute bullshit. But one of these days I'll check it out again. Then you got the Chucky 7-movie collection here. Cool thing about the Chucky films is that for a horror franchise that started forever ago and still had a recent movie come out, it's been telling the same story, continuing off of everything, and it doesn't really have a weak link. They've all been quality films for the most part. Some much better than others, for sure. Seed of Chucky is the weak link for me. I don't think it's a piece of shit. It's just not as good as the others. But when they came back and did Curse of Chucky, I absolutely adore. And Cult of Chucky, the most recent one, I thought they did a really good job with as well. I'm so intrigued to see where they go with this story. And then they had to go do the reboot, which was entirely unnecessary. I haven't even seen it yet. I'll get around to it, but I was like, it's so unnecessary. You're still doing so good with this here. Why did we have to get that rebooted already? So hopefully they'll continue that story. I heard they wanted to do it into a TV series and stuff. So I don't know if that's still the case or what they're planning to do, but I want to see this story continue because I'm still very interested in what's going on with all that. Next here we got Bone Tomahawk, and this is phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. This is as good of a Western horror film that you will ever see, and the effects are amazing in this movie. The story, you're really pulling for characters, like you are pulling for them, and they're just shit out of luck. It's, god damn it, man, this is such an awesome movie. Then we got The Witch, and I've only seen this in the theater. I picked this up again because I wanted to revisit it. I did enjoy this movie a lot in the theater, and then I just couldn't stop thinking about it afterwards. So you gotta kind of have to be in the right mood and the right tone, I guess, to watch this movie. You can't be having like some crazy fun day and then just sit down and just get sucked into this, because it's a very slow burn. It is very atmospheric. It's just, you got to be in the right setting to really allow yourself to get sucked into this here. When that day comes, I'm going deep. Then we got Don't Breathe. Really enjoyed this one as well. There's a moment that happens in this movie that kind of pissed me off. I guess it didn't piss me off. It's just, it really just changed the concept of the movie, where you went from feeling bad for some guy and all of a sudden you're rooting against him. I wish they wouldn't have made that kind of a decision, because I thought everything they were doing up until that was taking a little bit more risk, and then they kind of just gave you a reason to side with certain characters, which, I mean, take it as you will. It wasn't terrible. It's just, it took me way out of the movie at that point. Then we've got The Burbs, and this is an all-timer for me. I absolutely love this film. I grew up with this. I've seen it multiple times. The characters, the story, the way everything unfolds in this, brilliant performances, chemistry with everybody. This is just phenomenal. Then we got The Strangers. I only saw this the one time. I enjoyed it for the most part. I need to check it out again. There was one moment, I'm trying to remember now exactly, where I think they were hiding in a bedroom and someone came into the house who wasn't a killer. It was like a friend of theirs or something, but you can see their shadow, and they're like, you knew it was them, but nobody said anything to like make awareness, and then they got shot or some shit. I don't know. I think that's something how it went down, but I remember being like, what the hell? That made absolutely no sense when I saw that in the theater, but I'll watch it again. Day After Tomorrow, like this one. I like disaster films if they're fun, because it's hard to make a very believable, realistic disaster film. This is kind of fun in the vein of how Twister is fun, so I enjoyed The Day After Tomorrow. 2012, I have not seen this, so I need to check this one out still. And then we got Scream, which, Scream, classic. And then last but not least for this video, guys, we're going to do Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I really like this steelbook. I got Bogus Journey back here somewhere. I haven't watched Bogus Journey yet. I haven't seen it in years, and same with this. I revisited this for the first time in probably 15 years. And they're just fun movies. I like Keanu Reeves. Alex Winter's great. And I'm really stoked for what they're going to do moving up here into Bill and Ted 3. I'm really happy that that's actually happening. So that's going to do it, guys. Yeah, huge release there. I'm still close to 20 minutes, but I got through all of them. I still had like half the stack the last video I was trying to get out. So if you made it to the end, thank you very much. Anything that's new with you guys, any new movies you've picked up, anything that you've enjoyed, leave some comments down below. Try to do videos here somewhat more regularly, but again, check me out on Instagram, Bootzilla111. I do post on there daily, all sorts of things from my collection. So that's probably the best place to keep in touch for a little bit more up-to-date things and keeping things moving daily as opposed to YouTube. So I will try to do my best to post some more in here, guys, though I appreciate you watching. As always appreciate the support from you. I will catch you all next time.